What's up, guys? Dr. John here from the Garden Medical Spa. We're here on our podcast. We're hanging out with Jay Fiorentino, the owner of Elite Athletes. He's actually my new trainer, which is pretty awesome. Yep. And I'm happy to say that he's joining our life optimization program. And we're kind of sitting here and chatting it up a little bit. And going to talk a little bit about life optimization, a little bit about functional fitness, about what Jay's all about, and how this is going to help out with those of you that want to get your cellular health down and ready to go. You know, longevity medicine, right? That's the new thing.
Yeah, living longer
and staying fit throughout the years. Mm-hmm. I'm 42, and Jay, how old are you?
44.
44.
Yep.
So, you know, I mean, I think it hit me when I turned 40, where I was like, oh man, I got to do some stuff. I got to get serious with it, you know, and eat better, that kind of stuff. And then I started looking into things. I started looking into peptides, and I started researching different things. And I'm like, all right, well, you know, I'm an MD. I can learn about some of this scientific stuff kind of easily, I think, right? Yeah. And it's interesting. We talked quite a bit about it. You know, you yourself are taking some different. You know, you've taken different peptides and things like that, right?
Yeah, messed around.
And some of your friends, what are they into? They're into
NAD plus, BPC 157.
That's right.
Yeah, what's that? MK 677, something like that. They're all got these different code words.
Yeah. It's
Can't
interesting.
Keep up with it.
Yeah. So we've actually, it's interesting. We've curated a few things for our clientele. This is a new program for us. So what is life optimization? Let's actually start from that. So life optimization is this. It's an environment, really. It's an environment that we're developing for our clientele. That if they join this life optimization program, they're going to have pathways with scientific, Western medicine driven stuff, like, knowledge that also dips into things that are kind of like, safe as hell, FDA approved and all that good stuff, but stuff that they're not going to get from their primary care doctor or like other, insurance driven docs,
I get that.
And I think that's where I think the world's going, right? They want other alternatives. They don't want this pharmaceutical, just drugs and things like that. They want, other things to help them feel better about themselves and get healthy.
Yeah, well, not for nothing. It also makes it a lot easier to see results faster, right?
Right.
Than just grinding it out the gym day in and day out on a meal plan. It takes a lot more discipline. So if you have something that's going to jumpstart your progress, make you feel a little bit better, to give you that energy boost, to put you in the gym a little bit more easily, then why not, right?
So it all started actually with, I think, with the peptides that are well known. I mean, with semaglutide, tirzepatide, and now this new one, retatrutide, that's that Eli Lilly's going to, I think, come out with early next year, and that's the GLP-3. It hits you in 3 different places, but we actually have that. We haven't really been prescribing it yet. But the big one that we hit up, and people don't realize this, but it's a peptide, is a tirzepatide. And a lot of people think that tirzepatide, Mounjaro, right, is for weight loss, and it's like this weight loss medicine. You're going to lose all your muscle and this and that. And the interesting thing is what we found out, and by doing a lot of it, is if you microdose it, I'm talking like 1 milligram, half a milligram, the therapeutic dose is like 2.5 milligrams and up.
Right.
If you microdose it, you're going to actually get this anti-inflammatory thing. You're going to actually feel less inflamed. Okay. You're going to feel less bloated. And there's this term that actually we trademarked. It's pretty funny because it kept coming up with these ladies that kept coming in. They would say, "I feel morning skinny all the time." Huh. Morning skinny. And I was like, morning skinny? What the? And,
I feel morning skinny too. I just never called it that. Like when you wake up, you're like flat. You know what I mean?
Right. So you're like, so I'm like, wow, we're onto something here. And we started this, and that's kind of how this peptide thing with our practice, with the Garden Medical Spa and then life optimization really kind of started. And then from there, we started developing other protocols that would fit into the things we offer at the med spa. And then interestingly, and what I mean by that is like, we have a glow peptide, right? And that glow peptide has different things in it. It's kind of curated by us. But one of them is the BPC 157, and then there's a copper component to it as well. But it helps with the inflammation, of course. But it helps with regeneration of collagen. It helps with your skin, your hair, your nails. and that's wonderful as a helper to our laser therapies. It kind of gets your skin like even better, right? So that's very something very interesting.
It's like supplemental.
It is, yeah. And then you fast forward, and that's kind of like where you came in. This is so cool, and this is you're my newest add-on to this life optimization. Yeah. I'm actually very, very excited, and this is why I want you to come on this and like talk about it, is because I realized that with tirzepatide and with these different peptides, it's not good enough. It's not good enough just to lean out and be anti and non-inflamed and all that stuff. What we need now is lean muscle and as we talked before, thermodynamics to increase, right? Our metabolic rate to increase.
Yeah.
And that's where you come in.
Yeah.
And I've been so impressed because I thought when I started training with you a little bit, I thought we were just going to be doing like bench press and like leg presses, stuff like that. But now it's different, man. Yeah, it's different. It's fun. It's that functional fitness thing. So
I got to put your body in motion like it works every day.
That's right.
Right. So we're not robots, and we work athletically. Even if it's not in a sport or on a field, we're still moving our body in a functional way altogether in movement that's athletic, right? Athleticism. Right. So I'm not sitting you under the bench press and just smashing weight over your head.
Yeah.
What I do is I put you through movements that you're going to be doing every day, right? We're picking up grocery bags. We're walking up steps. Right. Getting in and out of a car, getting up the steps in anywhere, right? Up the curb. The thing is,
picking up your kid,
picking up two kids, two crying kids, and getting them in the house. You know what I mean? Chasing them down the street,
chasing them into the waves in the ocean,
crashing in on your daughter with the guy in the bedroom. You know what I mean?
I haven't got there yet.
Anything, right? Yeah, we're both not there yet. But I'm closer than you are.
Yeah.
But I want to just backtrack real quick and ask you. Other thing with the peptides and all these injectable hormone therapies and stuff is also like people popping pills and taking vitamins. Just because you're taking something doesn't mean your body's going to absorb it. Right?
That's right.
So that's where like the injectable stuff.
That's such a good point. Right? So that's an awesome point. You hear a lot about the PO or the pill taking form. And that's just as good as the injectable, and that's actually not true.
Yeah.
I mean, the technology really isn't there yet. Maybe it will be one day. Maybe the scientists are going to figure out a way to bypass
and all that.
Yeah, or like bypass the GI tract, or like the acid in the GI tract, and allow it for absorption to occur. But I think as of right now, the best way to get, say, NAD into you is subcutaneous, and it's a shot.
Yeah.
And the same thing with glutathione, and it's the same thing with all these other things. Even testosterone. Did you know that testosterone comes as a pill form?
Yeah. Well,
I mean, it doesn't work well, and I've seen that. It's just from a medical practice standpoint. Like my regular medical practice. Guys that have hypogonadism or like low T, the name for that is low T, and they need to go on testosterone. Sometimes insurance companies don't cover injectable testosterone. Oh. It's kind of crazy.
So I knew like they had the gel form. You like rub it into your skin.
They have that too.
It can be like rub off on people.
Yeah, rub off on your wife or your significant other. Rub off on your kids.
Yeah,
you don't want that crap. Right. So they're not ideal. The most ideal way of doing it is subcutaneous.
And also like most people that are trying to. They're fixing a problem, right?
Yeah.
So most likely their systems aren't working properly to begin with. Mm-hmm. So if your system's not working properly, you're not going to absorb the vitamin. You're not going to absorb the supplement.
You're inflamed. Yeah, right? You're right about that. That's
you're
actually
just popping
very true.
Pills thinking, oh yeah, this is going to work, and it's not even.
That's so true. You know what's really interesting? So like, let's get back to actually you hit the nail on the head.
Yeah,
subcutaneous
I
is better.
Go off on.
No, it's okay. I like that, as I do the same thing. So let's get back to like this to your approach, right? Mm-hmm. And as I want to dive into what makes it different, this functional fitness, and I when you said that to me yesterday, I was like, that's fantastic. 'Cause I never actually heard that term. I've heard a lot of terms, man. I haven't heard that term before. And I can tell you that when I'm working out with you, and I said this to you yesterday, I was like, dude, I feel like we just did bench press, because I've worked out like when I was younger and stuff, like I told you about that. I was going to get back to how I felt like when I was 25, 26, and I was like, man, I felt like this morning we did bench press. We didn't do any bench press. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that was interesting to me. What's up with that?
I mean, a lot of my stuff is science backed too, right? And loading push-ups is just as good as bench pressing.
That's right.
It's literally the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And we can put time under tension. We can slow tempos down. Certain muscle activation where just like rotating your wrists to activate the muscle.
Yeah.
I know all.
So you customize, man. That's the thing. You customize, and that's what's interesting too. Is like you saw me, and you're like, yeah, dude. You know, I play hockey and stuff like that. You're like, John, I think I had a little rotator cuff injury, so you customized that plan for me.
Yeah,
and that's why I was excited to have you as part of this life optimization thing too. Is because that's what we do. We customize these peptides for people.
Yeah,
we customize that micro dosing for people. And then, adding you on is fantastic.
Yeah, I don't want, people see how I work out. I work out kind of like a crazy person sometimes, but that's
I've seen it.
That's my thing.
Yeah.
Everybody works out a certain way, right? And I'm not going to knock that hustle or anything like that. But for me, I can take anyone, an old woman, a young boy, a girl, a guy, obese, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You just give me your background on anything, your diet, any issues you have. And like you said, I'll customize whatever the goal is you're looking to do in your skill set. So I don't want people to ever feel like, they're intimidated. Oh, I can't do jumping push-ups and all these crazy things.
Yeah.
Like, that's not why I list. I put that out there just to show you, like, that's what I do for fun.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know it makes for good content.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. So back to this this tirzepatide thing. This is I'm trying so hard to get people to come around because everybody thinks they're going to lose tons of lean muscle. And I think that as you lose weight, you're going to get more energetic.
Yeah.
And if you use that energy in a functional fitness, way, right? You get into the gym, you get a customized game plan with you, you're going to get your lean muscle or maintain your lean muscle and probably grow lean muscle.
That's the goal, right?
That is the goal.
You want to gain the lean muscle.
And we want to get people off of this stuff eventually too. That's the thing too. It's like this is not right. Like that's another thing. People are like, oh, I'm gonna have to take it forever.
No.
Well, actually,
not necessarily.
Not necessarily. Well, I'll tell you what. If you're using it like this, I go back and forth with this because it's pretty interesting. I'm gonna be real talk right now.
Yeah.
The anti-inflammatory and anti-bloat thing that happens, and like this cortisol, this kind of decrease in cortisol that a lot of young ladies get. I'm talking like the women that just had a baby, their hormones are all messed up and stuff like that, or they're all over the place, I'm talking that those ladies that are like 25 to say like 38, 40, right? Their hormones are all, and say they're kid making. The smallest dose for them doesn't touch their weight, but it makes them feel so much better. Gotcha. And like the noise, I'm talking even like some people that suffer from ADD and stuff. People go off their, decrease their Vyvanse when they're on this stuff. It's pretty wild, man. Huh. So I feel like that in itself might be
only from the microdosing?
Yeah, this is what I've seen with microdosing. Cool. So I'm like maintaining weight. People aren't
going to be
healthier
weight too because you're microdosing, right?
Yeah, and it's healthy. But there's this. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that those people that are getting that type of effect, you kind of might want to stay on it.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
A low dose like that. Yeah,
like I'm just saying, like you're using it for this this kind of a different pathway. Medicines act differently on different dosing.
It seems like it's no different than a male doing TRT.
It's similar. It kind of feels that way a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
You get a general feeling of wellness, like well-being is escalated, right? And not necessarily are you going to put on muscles and get gigantic. It's up to you if you supplement that with a high protein diet and go kick ass in the gym.
Dude. But you get that global kind of helpfulness. And you feel better. You're like more confident. So it's like there's that global thing that happens. And I feel like there's a I think that the world's going to kind of turn towards that, and the people that are using it for that effect are going to probably maintain on that medication. On the flip side of that, those that are using it to get over that hump of, say they have 80 pounds to lose, right? And they're like, man, they've tried everything, right? And they're stuck and stuff. My goal for them is to decrease the dose dramatically during their time that they're on it, obviously, right? Get them to a micro dose and maybe get them off of it, whatever, depending on if they feel that great global effect or not. And then, but at the same time, getting them to a higher thermodynamic range, meaning that their metabolic system, they're burning off stuff better when they're sitting around. And how do you do that? We do it through you, actually. We do it through that functional fitness. You get that lean muscle, leaner muscle, more lean muscle, more burn off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Increase the protein. I mean, there's other things that we can mess with, fasting.
that's
That'll
true.
help.
I mess with that sometimes. So what do you do?
I fast
Yeah.
almost every day.
What do you do? How do you fast?
Oh, geez. I try to stop eating by like 8 at
Yeah.
night,
Yeah.
right? So I go to bed like empty stomach and
Yeah,
not
for sure.
buzzing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Sleep, wake up. Now I'll pound green tea, organic green tea all day long. Black tea, that's like my my pre-workout. I make my own little pre-workout before I go to the gym.
Do a little salt water in the morning.
Salt water. I have a Baja Gold salt. It's like 91 trace minerals in there. Pop that in there. Excuse me. And I'll fast probably, depends, like even baseball season, sometimes like 6 p.m. at night.
Yeah.
And then I'll just go like one meal. I'll break my fast with my post-workout shake, even though it's not post-workout.
Right.
But it's something that's going to be broken down in my body very easily, easily digestible, right?
Yeah.
All protein.
Yeah.
So to get my levels back up.
Right.
And then I'll slam one humongous, like, high caloric, high protein meal. And that's it.
That's it.
But sometimes, 2 p.m., 3 p.m., whatever, it's kind of like I go off how I feel, man.
Yeah. That's cool.
But I've been doing it for a while, so I can,
And you feel good on it.
I do. I feel great on
your
it.
body,
My body is,
I actually, it's interesting. If you get past that, that kind of like, I get like hangry, you know what I'm saying? If you get past that, you get kind of into the zone a little bit.
Yeah, but what most people don't realize is when you feel hungry, most 90% of the time, it's not hunger.
No, what is it?
You're thirsty.
Yeah?
Yeah, you're dehydrated.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you just get some water.
Drink water.
Yeah.
Slug 8 ounces of water, a little salt in it, a little lemon juice.
Boom. You don't
Good
feel
to go
nothing.
for another 2 more hours.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. I agree with you. Some
you got to remember, like, back cavemen, right? No, they didn't eat for fun, right?
This is right.
They ate when they found food, like when they could hunt it.
Yeah.
So that
There's
wasn't
no agriculture.
right.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. So we got to biologically, our bodies are still wired that way.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. So this life optimization thing, basically, guys, if you join up in this program, this is what you're going to get. You're going to get a customized approach to getting your cell age down. We want your cell age, your biological age, to be younger than your chronological age.
Yeah.
Jay and I were talking about this and like kind of saving your DNA, right? Like strengthening your DNA.
Almost rebooting it.
And that's what some of this stuff does. And I realized, with aesthetic medicine, it's like it's not good enough anymore to provide somebody with, say a laser plan or an injectable plan and get them right here, and perfect and blah blah blah. But there's so much more that you can do that's going to make my work from the outside even better. So like for instance, that glow peptide. You throw that on to an IPL, dude, your IPL is now jumping up, That money you spent on that IPL is now like, you're like, holy crap, I can't believe it. Oh my God. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh my God. And then you feel better too because you're healing better, so it's a million different things.
It's like contagious.
It's pretty awesome, dude. And I'm interested because I'm also, like we said, and I know you're feeling this way too. We're getting older and we want to maintain what we always feel like, right? I want to kind of like...
We want to reverse the aging. That's where we're at. You hit like 40, you want to reverse it now. We got to build years back on.
That's right.
And that's where exercise comes into play. That's where the diet comes into play.
And you see some of these guys like the celebrities, the guys that have access to everything and they have the money to do so. You see they look awesome.
Yeah.
That,
LL Cool J, what? He still looks like he's 40, right?
Yeah, he looks pretty good.
Yeah.
So they're all doing some crazy stuff, man. Who else is doing some stuff? I think Tom Cruise is probably doing some stuff, man. He looks pretty good. You know what I mean?
The Rock.
Rock looks good. Yeah, he's always, yeah. I know. That's it, man. And there's these massive jumps in aging as we get older too. We're kind of heading towards it. Like around 45 to 48, there's a big old jump in like fat loss and all that stuff and testosterone loss and everything. So it's going to be interesting. But I think we're on the right path.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, especially for the women too, because they have a lot more issues because their hormones are different, right? So it's a lot harder to work with a female client in my industry because of the hormones. So the fact that we're now, teaming up, and we can now attack the hormones like the right way,
man,
right, healthy wise,
that's right,
and then compound with my diet, with the meal plans, with the nutrition, with the workouts, the specific things that are going to work for them.
Do you know what's really interesting? I'm happy you brought that up. Actually, it's something I always forget to talk about this, but a lot of ladies are looking for hormone replacement therapy and stuff like that, and it has its place, you know. But there's a lot of ladies out there that have cancer risk, and they can't really do hormone replacement because of that. So they're looking for other alternatives that are safe, you know, despite their cancer risk for whatever that may be, whether it's genetics or whatever.
Yeah.
But long story short, these peptides that we're talking about here, even the microdosing of tirzepatide actually does improve, and it's shown through studies that it does improve their hormonal levels. Oof. Yeah, I know. So it's kind of awesome. And as you know, right, you build more muscle, more lean muscle in a lady. You give them some creatine, right? Their testosterone is going to probably increase.
That
Creatine's
itself,
awesome.
Nobody knows about it. And you say that word like, oh, it's a drug. We're not putting that on.
Yeah,
no,
what?
Dude. Every woman of all ages should be on
creatine. Yeah.
100%.
What do you recommend the dose?
Even the older generation on top of it for the neurological benefits, right?
Do you feel
it fights dementia, it fights early onset Alzheimer's.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's huge.
It's huge. I actually have noticed a cognitive difference when I take creatine.
Especially at a higher dose, too. You can maintain a high dose, you know, for a lengthy period of time just for that boost.
Yeah, 15 grams. What do you do? 15?
15, 25. It depends. Yeah. Like a lot of people, you'll say, like celebrities you hear about, you know, when they're constantly traveling, right, and they have a lot of jet lag and stuff, they'll be boosting creatine big time.
Absolutely.
And that just like...
It helps them. Yeah, if you get if you say you have a late night or whatever, your kid, say you got a newborn baby at home and you're no sleep, you know, we've all been there, and like, you know, that creatine helps out.
Yeah, 25 grams right there, you're
absolutely
good to go.
Yeah, you'll be able to get to work and actually focus a little bit, you know.
Yeah, you it's a lot healthier than, you know,
the other
something
stuff.
else.
That definitely a lot healthier than all that crap. Yeah. You're funny, man.
Looks exactly the same.
Yeah. You're right. It's not healthier than that. Yeah, you're funny. But now the creatine is good stuff. But the ladies, what do you do for the girls for like workout plans and all that stuff? What do you do for that? Like you got this booty class going on, right? What's up with that one?
Every woman wants a nice butt. Right.
Yeah.
And you have, again, science-based fitness, facts. How do you... I'm all about efficiency. Yeah. Right? I don't want to waste anybody's time. I don't want to waste my own time. And I want to make sure we're getting our best bang for our buck. So I know the perfect form to activate the glutes in order to do this particular movement, and the perfect amount of sets, the perfect amount of reps, what exercise hits that different target of the glute better than most. Like I've done all that research already. Yeah. That's why you're paying me, because you know, coming to me, you're going to get the best bang for your buck, and you're going to get the results that you're looking for in a healthy way. And I give a shit. Too.
Yeah. You know that's what I like, dude. And you know, you train the kiddos too. Like my kids get trained by dude. Yeah, it's awesome, man. You got kids of your own.
I do.
And they're great athletes. Yeah. All of them are great athletes. And you know, And I mean, it shows. You know, you put a lot of time and effort into them, and you practice what you preach. I think that's what it's all about. It's like one of the things with this life optimization, like. And you'll see, you know, Jay's living it, I'm living it, and I'm not just like kind of talking trash. It's the stuff that I'm interested in because I'm doing it because I want to feel good forever, and I want you guys to feel good forever, and I think that we have an opportunity to like.
No, it's
kind of build something
that's
concept,
pretty interesting. Think about it, because as we are getting to middle age, what's everybody want to be? They want to be younger.
Yeah, dude.
Right. So how do we do that? Medicine helps. Fitness is huge. I mean, fitness is huge.
It's huge. Eating right.
Yep.
Yeah.
You got to take care of your body, but you also have to know how to do that.
Yeah.
And that's why they're going to come to this program, right? Because they trust you. They trust me, our knowledge.
It's the hump, man, you know, and that's the thing too, like the weight thing. I've seen it in patients, like regular medical patients and the clientele at the medical spa. It's like, when you're heavy and you've had like kind of those ebbs and flows of
unhealthy.
Weight, it's unhealthy, and it's also like frustrating as hell.
Definitely.
So it's like people need kind of like that just boost to get over the hump, where it's like they then start believing in themselves, like, holy crap, dude, I can actually do this. Like, I don't have that food noise. Like, I'm like actually focused now. You know, you start feeling good about yourself, and then all of a sudden, guess what? Your testosterone starts increasing in both men and women. Guess what that does? It makes you feel better. Yeah. And it gives you a little bit more energy, right? And then you start making more lean muscle, and it snowballs. It snowballs in the right direction.
Yes.
And it kind of like alleviates your body. I think what's most amazing is for all of our existence till we die, we have the ability to regenerate. You know, it gets harder,
Yeah.
but we have the ability to regenerate. So all the shitty decision making you did before, if you get in with somebody,
fix it.
yeah, dude, you can fix it, man. Yeah, and it's like,
especially like I was just reading today about alcoholism, and it's like you could have been, just drinks all the time, right?
yeah, dude.
If you abstain from it for 5 years, you literally can re-blueprint your entire body.
Absolutely. Yeah, as long as you don't get the cirrhosis. You're right.
Well, yeah. I'm saying barring any type of,
As long, barring any
liver
type
disease,
of,
shit like that.
Yeah. If you get right to that,
yeah.
If your liver's still working, hell yeah.
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 It's crazy.
It is
Your
crazy.
body is built to regenerate all the time.
It is.
And unfortunately, these crappy foods and toxins that we're putting in our bodies that we don't know about, from the agriculture to hormones to all these things,
Pesticides,
herbicides, all that crap. That's what's the cancers, coming from.
I think so.
And all these other issues, inflammation.
Bro. That's the thing. Like, inflammation is such a broad word.
That's why I started fasting to begin with. Dude.
Yeah, you start feeling something.
From my knees down, like I always had issues with playing sports and stuff.
Right.
And I had chronic shin splints.
Yeah,
and it was just to the point where like I never felt good. I was always uncomfortable. And then I started like really researching fasting. And I was like, I'm gonna do it.
Well, there's something. So there's something to be said about that. So it's the same sort of thing, like the cold plunge and the saunas and the fasting. So what does it really do? It puts stress on your body. It puts stress, and it tells your body actually that you're in a, almost like starvation mode in some sense, right?
It's like a survival.
It is. And then what does your body do? It sends out signals to regenerate, right, and to protect.
It starts creating healthy cells.
Right. Well, I'll tell you, people ask me, people don't really ask me this, but I say to people, like, if I was ever diagnosed with cancer, God forbid, if I ever was diagnosed with cancer, I would go on a massive fast.
For sure.
I would fast so hard.
Zero sugar.
Yeah, dude.
Zero processed foods, zero seed oils, the super cleanest diet. But like you said, first things first, fast like 72 hours at least.
Yeah.
Fast your ass off.
Just starve the
shit out of it.
Shit
if there's any tumors in your body,
there's
no biopsies, dude. Just take it out.
Yeah.
You got to think about your body did the work already for you. It collected the toxins, right? And it says, here they are. Take them out now. But instead, medicine and all these things. Yeah,
I don't want to go down that pathway. Because that gets a little bit crazy. It gets a little crazy. Yeah, because it's
that rabbit hole.
Yeah, and it's a dangerous rabbit hole because there's a lot of you can say the wrong.
It's not going away.
Yeah, you can say the wrong stuff too, and there's a million different things.
But
anyway,
to what you're saying, the diet is
huge. It's huge, and I think that it's unfortunate, guys. We're in a situation especially in our country. I think that you can't get away from these chemicals like fully, I guess, unless you go off the grid. But you're like, we're always susceptible. We're susceptible to, I keep my cell phone in my pocket.
You still got the radiation from your cell phone. There's still going to be that random plane with the
God,
you don't know.
But I mean, you're going to drink out of a plastic bottle, dude.
Yep.
You're going to have microplastics. They're going to like, screw up your system a little bit. Like we're kind of stuck in some respects. So then what do you do? Well, we can limit it and we can make good decisions, but then there's these other things out there where you can like throw glutathione, for instance. That's something we offer. So if it was me, right? So it is me. What's my so one thing we didn't talk about yet, actually, I'm like obsessed with it, is sermorelin. It's freaking amazing. Yeah. So sermorelin is is a peptide, and it's interesting because you hear these guys that get all muscular. They take human growth hormone, HGH, right? Yeah. And that's not the greatest thing to do because then your body downregulates it, and you have to be on it for the rest of your life. It's not good, right? Sermorelin, though, was studied, actually, it's been out forever. There's different versions of it as well, but it pretty much activates your pituitary gland, and it makes the pituitary like release a little bit more growth hormone.
Right.
So
basically like boosts your own system.
Exactly. Yeah. And then the feedback loop stays intact. You don't have this exogenous, giving of an outside source. You're making it, so your feedback loop is good.
Natural.
It's natural, exactly. So you stay good, and you don't have to worry about anything bad. So long story short, sermorelin is going to give that growth hormone, your pituitary, a little boost, get that growth hormone up, and you're going to get leaner, more lean muscle, right? Easier lean muscle as we get older. You get, because it's a little harder to do when you get older. More lean muscle as you get older, the higher metabolic rate, easier to burn off fat, and everything's good. So that's kind of that's why I love sermorelin so much, right? It kind of just like adds that extra edge to staying in shape, and getting in really great shape. NAD
And
is
feeling good.
And feeling really good. Yeah. So NAD plus is absolutely an absolute, right?
Yep.
I feel like my levels are pretty good.
Talk about that,
yeah,
though, the
so,
NAD,
yeah.
like, because it's another natural thing, right?
It
in
is.
our body.
It
and
is.
as
It
we
is.
get older, like I think we start losing at the age of 30. It
We
just
do.
decreases.
Yeah, just your cells' energy processing and just goes to shit. You
Yep.
just lack of a better term. We can get into like the Krebs cycle and all sort of stuff, but I'm not going to do that.
No.
Because I don't have like a whiteboard. I don't feel like doing that. You know what I mean? But yeah, basically,
Nobody wants to hear that shit.
Yeah,
anyway.
nobody wants to hear that.
Dumb
So
it down, make it
it's
so they
cell
understand.
protective. It's cell protective,
Yeah.
and it helps you with your energy processes of your cells. You need it for that. We naturally have a decrease in that level as we get older. Kind of starts decreasing in your 30s, and it kind of gets worse and worse and worse as you go on. You've absolutely can tell you have an NAD deficiency by just getting that initial couple of shots of NAD. You can get it through IV, you can get it through subcutaneous, and as soon as you get it, you start feeling like better. You're like, whoa, that's interesting. I got more energy. I'm sleeping better. It's a really interesting thing. I feel like my levels are pretty good because I'm not getting the same type of boost as I would when I first started it.
Yeah.
So
How long have you been taking it?
so you do a stack, you kind of boost yourself up for like 5 days, you get a bunch into you, and then you do it like once a week, and then you kind of like taper off from there.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I haven't done it in about a month or so.
I'd be curious to see what it would do
yeah.
for me, like just to see where I'm at, like base
Yeah.
level, like how you're saying. Am I going to feel a difference, right?
Do a boost. We'll do like a maybe next week we'll do like 3 days in a row of like a little higher dose, and then we'll see get you bumped up.
Okay.
And then the other thing, the glow peptide, because that,
talk about that.
the BP157 is
awesome.
huge. Yeah. Helps with regeneration of your soft tissue.
Yeah.
There's other components in this glow peptide. It's a group of 3 actually. The biggest one that everybody knows about is the BPC157, and it's really just for a lot of the MMA guys. It kind of came to popularity a few years back actually, because they were finding out that a lot of jiu-jitsu guys were taking it, and they were like, getting the crap beat out of them, right? And just like, straining muscles,
muscle tears,
and they were healing faster,
like overnight,
crazy stuff, So and then people started dosing it, right? And they started just feeling better, even if they weren't doing jiu-jitsu or judo or whatever,
it don't matter,
It don't matter, exactly. So that's a no-brainer. I'm starting that glow peptide up next week. And then I haven't jumped into testosterone yet because I really haven't tested my testosterone. I think I'm okay. But you think. But testosterone's interesting because testosterone, the numbers, the range is insane.
It is.
It's like 300 to 900 or something like that.
And it's a big difference. And everybody reacts differently, right?
Yeah, most guys haven't. Most guys feel good around like around 7 to 8.
7 to 8.
That's what I understand. Yeah. So I think that
you don't have to go crazy.
Yeah, so it's something that I'm sure. I mean, naturally, right? I'm 42, so it's got to be.
That would be the first thing that I would talk about.
Yeah, I know you've been pushing me to that. I think you just want to get it all ripped up real fast.
I mean, it'll make my job a lot easier.
You'll be like, look at this guy. Dude, I'm like,
I did this to him. Oh my God.
Yeah, man, that's so funny. So but listen, man. So this is interesting. So why would age is one thing. Age is one thing as far as like testosterone decreasing goes. But we all have shittier sleep now because of the phone.
Yep.
We all have higher stress because kids, man. Sports.
Yep.
I mean, the sports thing is insane, right? If your kids are playing sports, it's
everywhere.
unbelievable. Yeah, like
every sport, all year round.
Oh yeah, the training. Getting them. It's just driving
and the
around.
Pressure too of just competing.
Yeah, competing, and also the pressure of providing, like from a man's standpoint, right?
Too,
no so
doubt.
that's that'll increase your cortisol. That'll decrease your testosterone. So I think we're fighting a really tough battle where there's lots of things in our society and how we live life, just as Americans, that we are prone to low T, and I think that's something that we offer now, and that's fantastic. And I'm assuming it's going to be in my path eventually.
I would assume so too.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, how do the different peptides, right, like the sermorelin, the NAD plus, possibly TRT, can they commingle at the same time?
Yeah, they can.
Yeah,
a lot of guys do all 3, at the same time.
Gotcha.
They take the BPC 157. They'll do sermorelin, and then they'll do some tea. That's like an awesome
That's
stack.
a stack
Oh,
right
it's
there.
an awesome stack. Yeah, you kidding me?
Then combined with my workouts and the
you
right
get-
nutrition.
You'll be amazing. Your wife will be like, your girlfriend will be like, oh my God, you know? Yeah, she'll look at you a little bit differently.
Don't you got to go back to JFit today? Like,
Yeah, you know, it'll be a different, you'll feel better, guys. I think for the men out there, we take care of a lot of ladies just from an aesthetic standpoint, but guys, ladies come in more for those injectables, those lasers, just naturally, right?
Yeah.
But what we're missing here, and it's interesting because I started feeling it, man. Like, you put a shirt on or you put your clothes on and you're like, you feel kind of just different. And then, or like, you play a sport with your kid, you throw the baseball around the next day, you feel like absolute shit because you're like, your rotator cuff hurts now. You're like, dude, what was that?
Or like your gas just running after him one time.
Yeah, dude. And like, I don't know, man. There was a time in all of our lives where that wasn't happening, and I think we forget.
Well, life happens quickly.
Yeah,
right? It
dude.
just happens
And
overnight.
We forget, man. And I think that if you just get a glimpse of that again, you realize, man, you're like, holy crap, dude, this is where I gotta be at all times.
Forever, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of like what I'm trying to get across to the guys out there. It's like we got answers for you guys.
And don't be like intimidated by it or like feel weird or insecure. Like,
nah, dude. Yeah, it's like, and it's fun, man. It's like, and I think what's cool is that the fitness approach is awesome. Because again, I've been working out like prior, like when I was in my 20s and 30s and stuff like that. I worked out a little bit, but it was never like this kind of thing where I'm like, wow, man, I could see how this is going to help just everyday life. And then also I feel like I just freaking pumped like how I used to feel.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's freaking cool, man. So yeah, a lot of cool stuff ahead of us, bro.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Same, man.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in, joining our life optimization program, getting down with Jay, getting a workout plan in, a nutritional plan in, and just being part of this, let us know. Shoot us a DM, give us a call. We'll get you all set up. We got customized packages and programs for you guys, and we look forward to seeing you.